Lesson 93 starts on page 433, and it's about estimating multiplication and division answers. Now, we already kind of talked about this in our lesson 90 on two-digit multiplication. We were saying that it's good to estimate the answer sometimes, and that gives you confidence that the value that you have is correct. So let's just go ahead and do that. And these problems that we'll do, we'll estimate first, and then we'll find the actual answer. So look at practice problem A, 27 times 30. Well, let's just round 27 up to 30, and so we can say 30 times 30. Well, 3 times 3 is 9, so 30 times 30 would be 900. So I'll just say E-900 over here for the estimate. Now we rounded up, so that means our answer will probably be a little bit less, right? So let's go ahead and do the multiplication here. 27 times 30. 7 times 0 is 0, and then 2 times 0 is 0, so we don't do anything there. And then let's do 27 times 3 now. And so we put a 0 here because we know we'll have that for that 30. And then 3 times 7 is 21. Bring a 2 up here. 3 times 2 is 6, plus 2 is 8. 810. That's the answer there. And like we thought, since we rounded up when we did our estimate, that answer is a little bit less than 900, but it's close, and so that gives us confidence that we did the problem correctly. Now look at B, 18 times 23. Now let's round 18 up to 20 and 23 down to 20. So we're estimating 20 times 20, and so we think 2 times 2 is 4, so 20 times 20 would be 400. And so that's our estimate. Now, we rounded 18 up and 23 down, so it's hard to say for sure if our answer is going to be greater than or less than 400. So we know it should be fairly close to 400. Let's just go ahead and do the multiplication now. 8 times 3 is 24. 3 times 1 is 3, plus 2 is 54. Now we do 18 times 20, so we just add that 0 right there. 8 times 2 is 16. Carry 1. 2 times 1 is 2, plus 1 is 3. And now we add these. 4. 5 and 6 is 11. 414. So it's a little bit greater than 400, but it's close to that. So that gives us confidence. Since estimating is easier, the multiplication on estimating is easier, we have more confidence in 400 than we do in all of that multiplication that we just did. But that helps us to understand that we did the problem correctly. Estimating gives us confidence that we did the problem right. So let's do one more, 87 times 63. Well, let's round 87 up to 90 and 63 down to 60. So we're doing 90 times 60. Well, think to yourself, 9 times 6 is 54, so 90 times 60 would be 5400. So let's just put E for estimate of 5400. Now we rounded one of those up. The 87 we rounded up. The 63 we rounded down. So it's hard to say if our answer will be greater or less than 5400, but it should be close. So let's go ahead and do the multiplication. 7 times 3 is 21. 8 times 3 is 24. Add 2, and that would be 26. Now we do 87 times 60. We just go ahead and put the 0 here and do 87 times 6. 6 times 7 is 42. 8 times 6 is 48, plus 4 would be 52. Go ahead and add these. 5,481. That's a little bit greater than 5,400, but it's close, so that gives us confidence that we did the multiplication correctly. Okay, so keep that in mind when you're multiplying large numbers. Sometimes it helps to estimate first. Let's do one more problem. Let's estimate a division answer. Look at this problem. 1511 divided by 3. Well, let's just think about that. We could just say 3 into 1500. And the reason I didn't round it to 2000 is because I saw that 15 there, and that let me know, well, I know I can divide 1500 into 3. That would just be 500. So that's an estimate right there. 500 is an estimate of the answer. Let's just go ahead and do the actual division now. And we have 3 goes into 15 5 times. And so we have a 0, bring down a 1. 3 cannot go into 1, so we just put a 0 up there and say 3 times 0 is 0. Bring down that 1. Bring down the next 1, and we have 11. 3 goes into 11 3 times, so we have a 9. And 2, no more digits to bring down, so we have a remainder of 2. 503 with a remainder of 2. That's really close to 500. So as you can see there, our estimate helped us figure out that answer and just give us confidence that 503 with a remainder of 2 is correct. Of course, we could go back and multiply, but that's one reason that you estimate, just because it's pretty time consuming to have to go back and multiply, go 503 times 3 and then add 2 to that. Estimating, that is very quick and efficient, and that gets us an idea of what the answer should be. It's not as accurate as checking our work using multiplication, but it does a pretty good job. Okay, well that's all for lesson 93.